Good evening. I'm Corporal Marissa Davis with the Goldsboro Police Department. I'm actually with the Police Department Crime Prevention Unit, and it is indeed an honor to be before you today. I'm here to talk about motor vehicle safety. But before I do that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a Goldsboro police officer for over 20 years. I spent quite a bit of that time on patrol until I was promoted into the Crime Prevention Unit, and now I am currently working as a crime prevention officer and doing what I really enjoy doing. I like working with my community, just helping others, and just being a part of the community. As a native of Goldsboro, it's an honor to see some of the change that has taken place in our community, and it's a great thing. You know, downtown looks wonderful, and it's just a pleasure to see. And on the other hand, as a native, it hurts me to see some of the senseless crimes that go on, because we are like a family here in Goldsboro, and I indeed don't want to see my family hurting when someone's killed or shot, So I'm just glad to be here today and look forward to this presentation. So we'll get started with motor vehicle safety. So before we start, there's a small message here from the Chief of Police. Just want to thank you for your continued support in our community and to the Goldsboro Police Department. Our police chief is Chief West. He has been a police officer for over 20 years, and he's worked his way through the ranks, and he's our chief, and he's doing a great job. Okay, so here's something about us. The Goldsboro Police Department is a community-oriented police department. So what does that mean? Community policing, or either you can say community-oriented policing. It's a strategy or a policy that focuses on police building ties and working closely with members of the community. So what's the goal of that? I know we can say, oh, we're a community-oriented police department, but what is the goal? Well, the goal of community-oriented policing is to bring the police and the public it serves closer together to identify and address crime issues. So instead of just merely coming up on the scene to emergency calls, arresting people, police officers in such programs get involved in finding out what causes crime and disorder and attempt to creatively solve problems in their assigned communities. If you'll take a look at the picture over here on the side, this police department, they had a great idea. The police department, they got signs together and they went out into the community and they just gave out free hugs. This is a time that we want to feel the love. We want people to know that we are there to help support them through whatever situation that they're in. So they just thought free hugs were great. So whatever creative idea that we can come up with, that's what we're trying to do. And we want the community to know that they are a part of the community and we need their help to solve the crimes that we're facing, some of the things that are taking place in our community. So here we are, Goldsboro Police Department, 2016. We are a community-oriented police department, and it takes everyone working together, the police department and the community. Take a look at this slide here. So as you can see, years ago, it said, don't worry. The criminal says, don't worry, man. It takes the cops at least 7 minutes to get here. So that was the mindset of a criminal. They felt like they can get to a scene and break in or do whatever they needed to do before the police arrived. Well, now, as you can see, the police officer, he says that was before community policing. So the mindset is that if the community is looking out and they're seeing these crimes taking place, they'll give us a call. We can get there quickly and quicker than, we used to years ago, and help solve these crimes, because we have people watching and that are willing to take a stand to call the police and give us some direction and some ideas on what they saw. So crime, that's what the big thing is, crime. That's what we're talking about, motor vehicle safety. It all revolves around crime. So crime is a costly and demoralizing problem affecting all of us. The victims of crime suffers injury, financial loss, and intimidation. Everyone is affected by higher prices for products, taxes, insurance premiums, and the sense of insecurity and fear that results from criminal acts. Those who live or work in high crime areas can be deprived of some of life's normal opportunities and pleasures by the social and economic impact of crime and by the alienation and despair that accompanies the fear of crime. So that's the big picture here. We're the police department. We want to solve crime and prevent crime from occurring in our communities. So before we get into the big scheme of motor vehicle safety, I have a question. Which of these items are more likely to be stolen from a motor vehicle? By show of hands, you can pick 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so let me see your hands. Okay. Those are all good choices, but the answer is all 3 actually. Believe it or not, you see 1 is a pocketbook, 2 is medication, 3, a laptop. All of these items are items that people leave in their vehicles that are potential to be stolen from your vehicle. So the mindset is we want people to lock their doors and secure all items. You know, I know you would probably think medication, you know, why is that stolen out of a car? People, you know, they keep their medicine on them if they have to take it on a regular basis, and they may leave it in their cars, and it's taken out of their cars. It's something that we're seeing more often now. So with motor vehicle safety, one thing I want you to start out knowing is that you play a key role in preventing crime. So it's all about what you decide to do. It's up to you. The awareness is an important tool. So we want you to be aware of your motor vehicle and your surroundings at all times. Thinking about safety is the first step in crime prevention. Make it a priority. You know, with everything you do, sometimes you have to make things into a little game with your children. So make it a priority, you know, look around, see what's going on. Always pay attention to factors that can prevent crimes. So whether it's in your home, you know, with security measures in your vehicle, with keeping your vehicle locked and secured and keeping items from inside your vehicle, or if it's out in the public and you're walking through the mall and you see something that's suspicious. You know, we've had in the media, we've seen lots of things take place in these malls that's unbelievable. So now we have to be more alert and cautious of things more than ever. When sending mail, using the phone, or even using the internet, you know, safety is something that we have to implement in everything that we do. So motor vehicle safety is here. That's what we're here to talk about. Breaking and entering into a motor vehicle is a crime that occurs at any place, at any time. There's no particular area. You don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen if you don't take precautions. So today we're going to discuss some tips to help decrease your chances of becoming a victim of a breaking and entering. So here's one of the first tips. And this is something that we're going to be coming into more and more as we go into the holiday season is, you know, parking your vehicle in a well-lit area. When possible, it's a good thing to park your vehicle in an area that's well lit. If you can get near one of the light poles or up close to the door, that's always a good thing if you can. That makes all the difference. Criminals do not like light. They want to do most of everything in the dark. So park in a well-lit area if possible. You always want to lock your vehicle and place all valuables out of sight. So even the things that you think is not valuable is what you want to place out of sight. I know we've had times where it could have been, you know how we have those cases that we put our Bibles in? It could look like a pocketbook to the average criminal if they're walking through a parking lot looking in the doors. So you want to keep those items out of sight, pocketbooks, cell phones. Even I would suggest taking the suction cup GPS. If you had a GPS system and it was suction cupped on the window, I would suggest taking that off. Definitely want to keep your firearms and money out of sight and secured in your vehicle. Okay? So you want to roll up all windows and make sure the trunk is locked. I know sometimes we say trunk, and then if you're real Southern, we might say boot. So you want to make sure the trunk is always locked, and keep those windows rolled up and secured. Okay? So you never want to leave your vehicle running while unattended. This is something I know in the wintertime, we want to run into places really, really quick, and, you know, leave it unattended. We might want to run into the store and get something, but you really have to be careful with this. We had an incident a few weeks ago where there was a vehicle stolen because they ran into the store really quick, and that they thought was really quick, and they came out and the car was gone. So, you know, luckily we were able to find the car, but, you know, it was just that process that you have to go through, because no one wants their vehicle stolen. So that's, I would always suggest to never leave your vehicle running while unattended. Okay, so you want to never hide an extra key for your vehicle under the bumper or the floor mat, or inside the hood or gas caps. I think those were old, I see some of you smiling, those were some old practices that we did years ago, but now I think we're becoming more responsible, and, you know, you can have a friend to have an extra key for you, or your spouse, someone that they can come and help you if there was an emergency and you locked yourself out. Along with maybe, you know, now we have AAA. You know, we can call the AAA people, and they can come help us instead of putting ourselves in a situation that the key's hiding. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So you want to always visually check your vehicle's interior and under and around it as you approach to make sure no one is hiding. This is a practice that, you know, at night when you're going out to your car, if you were somewhere like Walmart, you want to always look around and look inside your vehicle before you get in it, because if you left your vehicle unlocked, somebody could be inside that vehicle. So you want to always kind of do a scan. Start practicing, you know, scanning before you get into the vehicle and checking around the vehicle. Okay? It's always a good thing to have your keys ready when you approach. You never want to be fumbling with those keys or trying to find them, or overloaded with packages that you can't find your key. You want to always have that key in your hand that you can just readily get into the car as you approach it. All right. So when walking away from your vehicle, look around to observe people that appear suspicious or that do not have any reason to be there. And you'll kind of get an idea for people that are suspicious or don't have a reason to be there. You know, they'll kind of maybe look at you funny, or you may see them looking around at other people's cars. So if you see that, call the police. I want you to know that you can call the police for anything that you feel is suspicious. They're going to ask you a series of questions, and they may want to get an idea for what it is that you see. But if it's something that wants a police officer to come and respond, they're going to send someone. Okay? All right. So here we are now with installing a car alarm. You know, that's a good thing if you can get the feature that's already on the car. That's great, but if not, have one installed, because most pedestrians will turn and look when hearing an audible alarm activate. So thieves don't like to have attention drawn to their presence. So that attention, if they hear that alarm, most of the time people hear an alarm, you're going to look around to see what it is that you see. And if you see something that's out of order or something suspicious, then you're going to, I would hope that you would take other steps to call the police and let us know what's taking place. But that's a great indicator once that alarm activates. So what about an anti-theft device? It's a good thing to install some type of to have an anti-theft device. If you take a look at the picture, here's one, the club. I think, you know, a lot of people up north, I remember going up north, everybody had a club on their cars, because that was like the safest measure of, so people wouldn't steal your car. So that's another item that you can have to help you with safety of your vehicle. Okay, and I spoke about immediately reporting suspicious people or behavior in the areas when you park your vehicle. So you want to be sure that you do that and let us know what you see. So the process of reporting a call, you know, they're going to ask you a series of questions, like I said, and I'm reiterating this is because a lot of times we're here, the public, they don't want to get involved. Well, you can respond to those questions, and the telecommunicator may ask you if you would like to give your name and have the police officer call you back to get further information. But if you don't want to do that, you can tell them no, you don't, and continue on with whatever it is you need to report. We really need people to step up and be the eyes and ears in our community so we can solve crimes. Okay. So if you have some indication that someone's following you, you want to drive to the nearest police or fire station, police department, gas station, or well-lit area if you think someone's following you. We get calls like this all the time, you know, where somebody's behind me, or they're following me too close, or it looks like somebody's behind me. And if you're doing that, you can drive to the nearest station, or you can call 911 and let us know where you're at, and then we can come to wherever you're at. So does anyone have any questions? I know that was a lot of information kind of quickly, but you can call me. I'll give you my email address. I'll still hang around after the presentation. And if you want to ask me something one-on-one, then we can do that, or you can call me later. All right, so are there any other questions? I know that was a lot of information, like I said, and we can. I'll be over standing around here when it's over if you have any other questions, okay? Thanks for having me.